This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
So, Anupriya, can you begin by introducing yourself to me?
Yes, sir. So, my name is Anupriya Chaudhary. I come from the city of Bikaner in Rajasthan, and I have done my schooling from there itself. After the schooling, I went on to pursue my undergraduation in Metallurgical and Material Sciences Engineering from MNIT Jaipur. And after doing that, I have been pursuing civil services dream. And apart from that, I have also done my master's in public administration from IGNOU University. And other than that, my interests are playing badminton, performing Bhavai dance, and doing poetry on burning issues.
Anupriya, you play badminton.
Yes.
What is the current position of India in badminton?
So India, to our pleasant surprise, is doing very well in badminton right now, and not just the female contingent of India, but also the male contingent right now, especially since the last year, has been doing excellently well, as we can see in the Commonwealth Games, and even the Thomas Cup India has won, which is a historic achievement. And PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal have already established Indian badminton on the global map. So India has been doing exceptionally well.
How were we able to crack the code in badminton but not in other sports? So we cracked the code in cricket. Badminton is, I think, number 2.
Yes, sir.
What did we do right? Okay.
Yes, sir, I do agree with this statement. There are several reasons for this. First is that historically, since we were under the British rule, and badminton has its origins in UK and Denmark, so from there we were introduced to badminton from the very early age. So we have our acquaintance with the badminton sport. And secondly, we also see that badminton is a very common street sport, so to speak. So and the training of badminton too is not very costly, as we can see for other sports like tennis and swimming. So that's why people are able to pursue this sport more actively.
So, for example, let's just compare badminton and football.
Yes.
Why football not picking up?
So football, because of the historical bias, only it is even till now it is considered to be a men-only sport. That's why it has its limits, and also it is not played equally in all regions, because Northeast tends to have a higher inclination towards this sport. But then things are indeed improving, because even women from Northeast are now coming up and taking up football actively.
Right. So, Anupriya, you are a metallurgy engineer from
Yes.
one of our NITs.
Yes, sir.
We have an iron pillar that has not rusted in India.
Yes.
The iconic iron pillar. Where is this iron pillar?
So it is present in Qutub Minar building, and it was constructed by Chandragupta Maurya, Chandragupta II. And so,
Which year?
so I am not able to recall.
Which century?
So I'm not sure.
That is, I think, as metallurgy students, that is a symbol of our national pride, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I think
Indeed,
we
it
should be
is.
aware of. What is the reason that it has not rusted? Have you been able to figure out?
No, sir. The specific, I'll have to read about it.
So we see that when we convert or smelt iron, we add certain amount of carbon to it if you have to make it steel.
Yes.
What does carbon do? Why do we have to add carbon to make it steel?
So carbon is a very good reducing agent, because when we feed iron into the blast furnace for converting it into steel, we do it in the form of iron oxides, which can be hematite or magnetite. So for the conversion, we need a certain amount of reducing agent. So the charcoal or coal that we add to it acts as a reducing agent to convert it into pig iron.
Anupriya, these days there is a scramble for semiconductors.
Yes.
And so these companies are obviously they're expecting a surge in demand.
Yes.
So of course right now we all have mobile phones. Where are they seeing the surge in demand to come from?
So surge in demand is coming from every electronic gadget that we can see around us, whether it's the computer, laptops, and even the...
What is the term for it?
So for the entire ecosystem. So I'm not sure.
As you said, every electronic gadget, it is demanding semiconductors.
Yes, sir. So,
why? What is the term for it?
So the IC chips that are used are made of semiconductors only.
Yeah.
So in transistors, we require semiconductors.
This is going to, what is this thing called? This whole every device needing an internet and therefore requiring a chip so that it can connect to the internet called.
So I'm not able to recall the exact term.
So you're saying that beyond mobile phones, every device needs to be connected to the internet and
Yes.
therefore they require a chip.
Yes.
But you're not aware of the term Internet of Things.
Sir, I was not able to exactly gauge the demand of the question. So,
No, so you could say that, okay.
yes.
Very. So what is a semiconductor?
So a semiconductor is any material that lies between the conductor and the non-conductor in terms of its electrical conductivity, and this material has its conductivity in the optimum range such that it finds its use in various electronic gadgets, as we just discussed. And the example of a semiconductor can be a germanium.
No. So it is anywhere between a conductor and a semiconductor. Then technically it's of no use. It's almost every other material which is not a good conductor.
No, sir. Sir, it has some mobile electrons which can be which are just in a very free state in the inside the material, which can be used when we need a certain amount of conductivity.
No, so think and tell me again. Define semiconductor. Okay, think and tell me the answer.
Yes, sir. So semiconductor has its conductivity in the intermediate range, that is between the conductor and the non-conductor.
That is true of all materials which are neither conductors, which are not good conductors, and which are not good
Insulators.
So that's true for everything. So it's redundant.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me something else or add something to it.
So I'll have to read the specifics of it.
No,
for
it's not
better
specific. Think and tell me what is the good thing. What is the good thing about it? That is neither a conductor nor a semiconductor, but somewhere in between. And what happens there?
Sir, I have read about it, but I'm not able to recall.
No, it's 10th level physics. There's nothing that you need to know. You think for some time and tell me that what is the benefit if, why, what is the benefit? I mean, what are the conditions in which it can suddenly behave like a conductor, and other times it behaves like an insulator? And that's the whole game there. A conductor is unable to behave like an insulator, and an insulator is unable to behave like a conductor.
Conductor.
A semiconductor is something that is helping you have both the behaviors. Therefore, you are able to pass on 0 and 1 signals.
Yes. So it has to do with its magnetism and temperature, but I am
The
not.
application of bright voltage, it can be its conductivity can be altered,
Okay, all right.
right?
So I'll
You
read
have to
more.
pass on
about-
0
Yes,
and 1.
yes.
So as a voltage, at this voltage it will be conducting, at this voltage it will not be
Not
conducting.
conductor. Yes.
Anupriya, you are in Rajasthan. Rajasthan still has the problem of girl-child marriages. What is the reason?
So indeed, Rajasthan has one of the highest rates of girl-child marriages. So there are several reasons to it. So first reason is the patriarchy prevailing in Rajasthan, where girl child is still not considered at par with the male child. And however unfortunate it is, girl child is still bound to follow the rituals of marriage and not just the education part of it. And that's why the parda system and dowry system, all of these are linked to child marriages itself. The second reason being poverty. So the poverty rates are very high in Rajasthan. That's why they consider early marriage as a sign of economic security of the girl child as well as of the family. And other reasons could be low female education. And
Why child marriage reforms did not take place at the same pace as it happened with the rest of the country?
so because of the prevailing patriarchy, where
Patriarchy is in other places in Haryana also. You have more patriarchy and more poverty in Bihar.
Yes, sir. So, because in the Rajputana kingdom of Rajasthan, it was sons were more preferred for fighting wars.
You are very close, Anupriya, but you are still not getting it. You've just
Yes.
said the words.
Yes, sir.
Rajputana kingdom.
Yes, sir. So, and also there is resource scarcity in Rajasthan, which is not there as to that high a level in other parts.
No, Rajasthan, you have not seen the rest of India. It is still way more pathetic than Rajasthan. If at all you think Rajasthan has poverty, try visiting Eastern India. Then
Yes.
you will see
Yes, sir.
much more poverty is there.
Yes.
If that is one concern. So you are very close. You said Rajputana kingdom and then you missed out.
So, because of the cultural practices, are you trying to say that the cultural practices that
Anupriya, what is your motivation for joining the civil services?
Sir, my primary and main motivation for joining the civil services was an erstwhile district magistrate that we had when I was studying in school, and she was Miss Aarti Dogra, and she, despite being a dwarf, she had done exceptionally well for the district. For example, there was one, she ran a campaign, Banke Bikaner campaign, and in that she used a behavioral approach and changing the mindset of the people in order to just change the face of the district when it was considered a task unsurmountable.
You had public administration as your option subject.
Yes, sir.
Why was Mary Parker Foley said to be ahead of her times?
So, because Mary Parker Foley was her timeline of being an administrator or a specific thinker was in the era of classical thinkers. But if we go to her ideologies and her specific administrative theories that she gave, it was not as per the classical thought, but it was more of the behavioral and modern thinkers approach. So she considered informal relations more important, whereas this was not the normal thinking at that time. They considered that formal relations were more important at the workplace. And similarly, there were several other theories that she propounded which were way ahead of her time.
Okay, what was the biggest contribution of Woodrow Wilson? Give me the answer in one line.
So Woodrow Wilson's biggest and undisputable contribution was that public administration is a very important field and it needs to be studied as a separate discipline. This itself was separate from political science.
All right, Anupriya, your interview is over.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Organize your answer well. Say it a little point wise. बिंदुवार तरीके से बात करो.